Hello. Okay, this was requested, and I thought it was pretty good. Warning ahead, there is a lot of bathroom humor. Be prepared. This is a thread from back in 2007. I thought it was pretty good, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing recorded for you. Sit back, relax, and here we go. On Thursday, some docs are looking at my insides from the wrong end, if you know what I mean. I've got to take 2 laxative potions, one at 0800 and one at 2000 tomorrow, but I've got an offer to go ride to Dartmoor. Will I shit my brains out in the morning and then be fine for the day, or do I need to stay within sprinting distance of a loo?
Do not go. Picolax is the pimp daddy of laxatives. You better be sitting on the toilet when you take them, and have plenty of moisturized bog roll standing by.
Alright, I live 20 or so miles from Dartmoor. Only get to go 3 to 4 times a year. On your advice, I just sent a won't be able to make it email to my potential lift. Hope there are some entertaining threads tomorrow.
You only get to go 3 or 4 times a year? Freaking hell. I'll bet you that hurts when you get the urge. Ring splitter? You want to try eating more fruit, surely.
I've seen nurses administer that to patients with a stopwatch while the patient's on the commode. If you're not losing serious body weight in 20 minutes after taking that, you're ill or anorexic. That's why I've got Picolax. Although I can see Dartmoor from my bedroom window. Not many of my friends drive, and the ones who ride certainly can't afford a car. In fact, my best buddy just sold his car to buy some Crossmax SLR. Well worth it in my opinion, but my girlfriend didn't agree. Also, please don't try to drink 2 pints of Real Ale an hour before the 8 p.m. dose. Oh, go on. You'll fart so hard and loud that you'll terrify yourself. Mind you, you will be projectile shitting at the time, so that might take the edge off the fun. Pissing myself laughing. I'm so tempted. Is it really that pimp daddy? It sounds like you know what you're talking about. Picolax turned my bum from its usual semi-dormant state, a bit like Vesuvius. An impressive and majestic sight, with occasional noxious whiffs, regular minor expulsions of dangerous material, and a very rare display of awesome ferocity, worthy of international news into a portal from another collapsing aqueous universe, via which all compressed matter emerged at translight speeds, expanding exponentially as it emerged from the wormhole. If you think of the widespread deluges of precipitation experienced this summer in any way approach biblical proportions, then rest assured by 9 o'clock tomorrow, you will have ample personal evidence to entirely revise your delusion. I will add 3 pieces of evidence, 2 very useful and the other certainly very serious. Wear tracksuit bottoms or a very baggy style garment with elasticated band. This might give you an outside chance. Please read the next item very carefully before taking Agent Picolax. Check the time and date of the appointment on the hospital letter. Repeat, check the time and date of appointment on the hospital letter. And a trusted friend verify your reading of the details of item 2. Who cares anyway? If you're looking for an interesting thread tomorrow, then I'll try to explain from personal experience why item 2 above is so vital. To those who take Picolax, we salute you. To be continued. At popular request, please be seated. I had some disturbing signs during daily evacuation procedures. In the past, Farmer Giles and family surgically evicted from my arse, so wasn't about to wait years to have any future squatters invade me via the back door. Doctor took a look, and with only for warning, proceeded to instantly put an expression on my face, more commonly associated with writers of The Big One at Alton Towers. And believe me, I felt like I was writing the very big one. The only word I could manage was, Weeks later, I got a letter from the hospital, plus 2 sachets of Agent Picolax. In true blokey fashion, I then man-read the letter, i.e. opened it, scanned it, and took out the free gift. RE, appointment and pre-op procedure. Warning, mistake alert. Warning, f***ing big mistake alert. Right. So on Monday the 10th, I was to have an investigative procedure, and so from 36 hours prior, I would be restricted to clear fluids only, so no real food from 8 p.m. Saturday night. Slap up meal Saturday tea time, then orange juice, or tea without milk, or clear soup. Sod that. A couple of lagers can't do any harm. Wrong, kid. But sadly, that's not your main problem. Sadly, no. Sunday evening, I've been on clear fluids only for a whole day. Family sits down to roast beef, Yorkshire pud, gravy roasties, peas carrots followed by trifle. Never mind, I'll tuck into a glass of orange juice. Trigger warning, to the top. While they sit back and post-scoff bliss, I prepare for my first meeting with Agent Picolax. Cue music from Jaws. Read instructions on free gift number 1. I tear the strip off the sachet. Pause. Remember in those stories how insignificant it seems when the cork is removed from the bottle found on the shore and the fabled genie trapped for 1,000 years pops out? Well, hold that thought. Restart. A few minutes later, Agent Picolax has entered the building, orally. Not too unpleasant, tastes a bit lemony. To be fair, if most energy drinks tasted like this, they'd be more popular. As these foolish thoughts are noodling around in my head, a butterfly in the Amazon flaps its wings. A storm of geological cataclysmic ferocity, fueled by an apocalyptic Agent Picolax, is gathering pace, mass, and reveal itself too late upon the unweary. Oh yes. Seeing as I like the odd beer, I'm pretty used to the occasional rumbly in my tumbly, so surely nothing to worry about there then. Tick, tick, follows talk. The air is still. The usual background drone of distant traffic had recently gone. I didn't notice it get quieter. It didn't happen suddenly. I had not gone deaf. Even the barking dogs and the twittering birds had fallen confusingly silent. I was alone in my own house, but suddenly felt the eyes of entire nations focused upon one single point, the epicenter. I turned to see what it was. I realized too late what it was that they already knew only too well. The epicenter was behind me, but this was not a pantomime villain. It was Krakatoa's big drunk angry brother, and he come to kick the living shit out of me right now. To be continued. I read that Lake Baikal in Siberia is the largest body of fresh water on the planet, so large that, if emptied, then it would take every river upon the earth, flowing into the space, a full year to refill it. Or, the contents of my arse would probably do it in 15 minutes, flat. Eventually, that Sunday night, as it says in the Bible, the waters receded and peace returned. Once the aftershocks, not the highly colored alcoholic stuff, had finally diminished and ceased, I showered my skin. There was nothing inside, not even skeletal remains, and went to bed, setting the alarm for 6 o'clock in order to rise and still myself for 8 o'clock Monday morning. 8 o'clock was my next appointment with Agent Picolax. It would be an appointment that I would never forget. I awoke at almost the exact time the alarm went off. All in all, a good night's sleep. I felt warm and safe, and happy, lying in my comfy bed, in the delicious half-sleep world, where Debbie Harry is still 23, and I'm at the height of my prowess. As a rock, God and Debbie really wants me so bad. She's wearing that red shirt, with red overneath stiletto books, and the rabbit from Donnie Darko taps me on the shoulder and says,
"Your appointment with Agent Picolax, Mr. Bluetone."
Music from Lee Van Cleef's musical stopwatch. Feeling like I'm in the lift in the Empire State Building, and it's dropping unchecked. Sounds of a very fat doggy desperately clawing for traction on an old school blackboard. Oh, sweet Lord in heaven, no, please, not that. Anything but that. My feet are moving with all alacrity of continental drift in the direction of away. But, like all nightmares, the harder you struggle, the faster you run away, the closer the monster gets. So you break, become a quivering mess that submits to the horror, hating yourself for being weak. One more effort and I would have been free. Too late now. Stand before the bathroom mirror. The event, the night before, must have sucked the very eyes from your socket. Because I can't see properly. In the mirror isn't the reflection of a 5'10" man. It's a huge, used femdom. I find free gift number 2. Oh, the irony. And like a beaten drone that I am, tear open the sachet. Release the genie pent up for 10,000 years. Mix the magic potion. Then the condemned man, deprived of even a blindfold, last cigarette, Debbie in thigh boots, and light years away from a hearty breakfast, raises the glass to his lips and swallows. I'm ready for you this time. Come on, come on, come and have a go. I spin and park my arse, now deeply grooved and splintered from the previous night's multiple megaton detonations. I wait, and very time itself pauses. I wait. Nothing. Nope, not even the faintest pixie's fart of a tremor. But I'm not gonna fall for it. If Agent Picolax can wait, so can I. I'm ready for ya, like a spring coiled by Buddhist ninja fellers. Distracted for a fraction of 1 second, he's on me, wringing me dry. I wondered just where he had been, and he was about to let me know. He's dancing on my head, as from my ring of bright water emerges the Pacific Ocean and its family, and they're in a rush. After a period of time, that could have been less than a nanosecond, or longer than a genie's internment, I know he's gone. I am dust, and not much of it at that. Time to sort myself out for the hospital. Complete change of spare clothes, plus 5 spare pairs of boxies. If necessary, I'll wear them all, simultaneously, plus 2 pairs of jeans. That'll minimize the death toll. Right just before I leave, one last check. No food, 36 hours. Check. Clear fluids only. Check. Ish. Few loggers can't have hurt. Free gift number 1 at T-minus 27 hours. Check. Yep. 2000 hours, Sunday night. Free gift number 2 at T-minus 3 hours. Check. Yep. 800 hours Monday morning. Report to day hospital. Wednesday 10th. Wednesday 10th. Wednesday 10th. Hello, day hospital. I've got an appointment for Wednesday. Yes, that's right. The 10th. I was wondering, is there any chance you can see me today? I'm afraid not. Is there a problem? Only if you cancel, you may go to the bottom of the list. Oh, no. I don't want to cancel. I want to be seen today. Have you taken your Picolax yet? Stifled sounds. The unnerving feeling that nearby extensions are being lifted. Small voice. Yes. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Did you say you'd taken both sachets of Agent? Sorry, both sachets of Picolax. Multiple stifled sounds. Presence of numerous third parties confirmed. Small voice. Yes, both sachets. Can I get some more? No tossing about this time. They didn't even try to stifle their laughter. All women, about 10 of them. You say you'd like some more Picolax? No. I asked if I can get some more. I definitely did not say I'd like some more. If you can drop by at 1300 hours tomorrow, we'll issue you with a repeat prescription, which you can take to the pharmacy, okay? Yes, thank you. Later on Monday the 8th. Hi, I've come to collect a prescription. What's your name? Says a good-looking red-headed nurse with a twinkle in her eye. Simultaneously, she makes some secret sign for every good-looking female nurse to emerge from various hidey holes. To be honest, I didn't think the NHS employed so many nationally. Never mind at the local bum clinic. Blue tone? Oh yes, 2 sachets of Picolax. Sirens alarm, party poppers, and flashing lights. Bingo, ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner of the Lord Elizabeth What Trophy. Then the killer question. Do you know how to take it? Yep. Blue Tone exits the bum factory for the day, and the workers roll about the floor. Still, it's not every bloke that can introduce damp knickers in so many foxy nurses simultaneously. Now, any of you that are familiar with even primary school arithmetic will be aware that a 36-hour countback from 0800 hours Wednesday is 2000 hours Monday. By the time I got home, it was almost 1800 hours. 2 hours to eat. Then back, once again, into the hands of Agent Picolax. But even I, with the double dose of Agent Picolax, was not prepared for the delights of the procedure. Right. Home I go with 2 replacements. And for those who enjoy cheap, ritual humiliation, it felt as though every worker that I passed in Faskerley Hospital began polishing the floors with their backs as they writhed and contorted about. Every other chancer wants Tomazzi's, but Bluetone, the only man with the addiction to bum explosives, this next statement may be the least surprising ever read from the Book of Revelations. But I did not ride my bike that night. Truth is, I just can't remember exactly what I ate during the 2 hours I was granted, beyond the unfailing grasp of Agent Picolax. Rest assured, small balls of cotton wool, economic portions of candy floss, and undersized clouds were very, very high on the very short menu. Items not required on the voyage included pineapples, the spiny oversized hand grenades of the fruit world, beans, chips, infant anything, which may produce a propellant. Yeah, like the Agent Picolax needs an enthusiastic assistant, for f***'s sake. By 2000 hours Monday, the Safe Food Fest was over, and the waiting game had recommenced. But so had the internal monologue. Music from Rocky, as the plucky contender runs up the steps.
Fluids, Tone! Yeah, just think fluids!
Right, kid. Like I can think of anything else. May as well try to go to sleep. Let's face it, a night down in the pub and a tandoori can never measure up to a session with Agent Picolax. Look, there's no easy way around this, so why not make a game of it? Did 3 gift number 3? A. Surprise me with a gentle playing of the flute. B. Treat me like an old friend, not seen for many years, and soothe my pain with the stories of childhood. Or C. Treat my arse, ears, and neighbors to a display of 4-dimensional pyrotechnics, unseen since Stephen Hawking's wheelchair accidentally knocked the switch marked kaboom. Sorry, but the correct answer is, in fact, Agent Picolax worked Bluetone over completely, twice, before presenting his sorry arse for deeper inspection. And so, having survived Agent Picolax, not once, not twice, not even thrice. No, King Dickhead had to ride the biggest one 4 friggin' times. I presented the world's cleanest ever alimentary canal for deeper inspection. But first, they made me take off all my grown-up men clothes and put on a child's dress, backwards. Then I was summoned into a room and asked to lie on a bed. Lying on my left-hand side, so I do. And in front of me is a TV screen with some weird pictures on it. Like the inside of a bike mechanic's toolbox. But it was something to look at and try to distract myself from the fact that I was lying on a bed in the presence of 4 women with my impressive and majestic bare arse hanging out of a child's dress. The nurse says, "Now draw your knees toward your chest." Pulse rate definitely quickening now. Next came the phase that no matter how softly said, how far away they have grabbed my attention, as surely as a fist of a school bully grabbed a tie in search of spare dinner money. The nurse said, "Right, we're just going to apply some lubricant." We? Dear God, if it takes more than one of them, and there's 3 in the room that I can't actually see in this position, just apply the lubricant? How big is this bloody device they plan on sticking up my arse? The size of a human fist? A football? Now, I've never been a rugby fan, but all of a sudden, it seemed to have one enormous advantage. A suitcase? Dear God, not a suitcase. Then I heard the sound of big machinery. big machinery. Sweet baby Jesus. They're gonna drive a bloody chieftain truck up my arse while I'm asleep. Then whilst I'm reeling at the prospect of armored-plated caterpillar trucks, gun turrets taking me by storm, my bum got slimed by Ghostbusters. All of them. Current dignity rating for subject blue tone equals -8 million and falling. Okay, Mr. Blue Tone, we're just gonna prepare the endoscope. Did she say? She did. I'm sure she said HMS endoscope. Christ, it's a bloody submarine. At least I've been out of it for a while. My uncharted waters are being searched for intruders by a huge vessel. Okay, Mr. Blue Tone, on the screen in front of you is a picture of the camera on the HMS endoscope. You'll be able to follow the entire procedure. Whoa, lady, just a bloody minute. Where's Jeremy frickin' Beetle? I've got a bare arse with about 10 gallons of KY jelly in it. And up it. I'm wearing a kid's dress. Backwards. The HMS endoscope is about to boldly go. And you want to show it to me on TV? But that's not the best bit, is it? No. You want to stay awake and watch? Look, I may be daft enough to live on just yummy orange juice for a week, while suffering 4 bouts of bowel movements big enough for Stephen Hawking to test out his theories on. But awake? How bloody daft do you think I am? Well, that's what I thought. But obviously, being a British bloke, what I actually said was, okay. The picture on the TV screen then started to go all blurry, just diffused blobs of colored light. Then it went dark, and a distant object began to emerge from the gloom. The camera was showing some pretty poor quality black and white footage of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and up ahead, it was an orbiting space station. Ah yes, I love this movie. At least I have something to do whilst No, best not to think about that. In the distance, there's the familiar form of planet Earth's lonely satellite, the moon. Except in this version, the part of the moon is being taken by my arse! Ah! Nurse then kindly gave me the most impossible instruction. Okay, Mr. Blue Tone, just relax for me. When what she means is, my mates are about to launch HMS Endoscope, and you are the target acquired. Suddenly, the moon fills the screen, and its topography becomes crystal clear. There are craters and hills, and up ahead there's a deep gorge with sparsely wooded steep sides. Then, like something off Tracy Island, or Goldfinger, please don't say finger like that, or Moonraper, can't we just stick with Tracy Island? After all, I could be wearing Tracy's dress. The steep sides of the gorge slide apart to reveal Bullseye, Sheriff Rusty's badge, the chocolate starfish. The lunar module is going to crash if it tries to land at this rate of descent. Bloody hell, if it doesn't slow down, it's going to embed itself. Precisely embed itself. At the same time as the crew of Podule number 2 perished, I was suddenly treated to a simultaneous experience at both ends. What I saw was Podule number 2 suddenly suffering a temporary blackout while it's entering a narrow cave. Very narrow. What I felt was air rushing from my lungs like a desert storm. Eyes out on stalks like Arnie at the end of Total Recall. A muscle, which I will never ever take for granted again, expanded exponential rates. She stuck a camera, complete with its own lights, and a rope in me, right up my bum. And then she played the ace. The ace, she served it like a Grand Slam champ. I didn't see it coming. Well, no shame there. After all, I had things on my mind. And an anaconda up my arse. Okay, Mr. Blue Tone, so that we can see the walls of your bowel as clearly as possible, we're just going to inflate you. Yes, inflate me. Now, for everything I've experienced up to this point, I had some point of reference. Some previous experience for which to draw upon, some vaguely transferable skill via which to cope or to realize my situation. Judging by the size of the HMS Endoscope's engine, it would be delivering just a bit more puff. Yes, I know its connotations. Then required to make one of those things that you get out of a Christmas cracker unroll and bleat. She was going to inflate me. The mind is most often a wonderful thing, but it can be a fearsome enemy. She's going to inflate me. And, just like the computer from 2001, my mind had chose this precise moment to reveal that it turned bandit. At some point during the Great Deluge, my guard had been dropped, probably out of my arse. Seizing the moment, Agent Picolax had waved his fingers in my mind's face, and in the calming tones of Ben Obi-Wan Kenobi whispered, "These are not the drones you're looking for." Agent Picolax had effortlessly turned his opponent, taking him over to the opposition. Now she was going to inflate me. But my mind was suddenly supplying me with images. No soundtrack, no dialogue, images. Millions of them. Large, small, black and white, color, still, video, real, CGI, cartoon, sketch, millions of them. Some free sample images. An elephant, Montgolfier brothers, pioneers of the hot air balloon, great gouts of fire spouting forth from a distant angry sun, mushroom clouds from an H-bomb test on Bikini Atoll, an erupting volcano, a beach babes playing volleyball, an American footballer kicking a field goal, a zeppelin, 2 zeppelins, a pan of popcorn popping, bomb disposal engineers detonating a suspect device, a track pump test in STW, compressors on display at B&Q. Then, a child's face, the instant after a birthday balloon disappears. Hattie Jake, as the matron in the Carry On films.
Hello, Mrs. Bluetone. Yes, we had to do the procedure today. Well, I'm sorry to say we exploded him. No, he won't be coming home for tea, I'm afraid.
She is going to inflate me. And boy, she inflated me. She inflated my brains out. Big one. I don't know if any of you have been inflated, I mean fully inflated, to about 120 psi inflated. My belly was about the size of a family dome tent. So I lay there, an anaconda slivering up trap 2, gradually expanding, watching my bowels on TV gently rocking on the bed, as you do on a Wednesday off work. The remainder of the procedure was, by the exciting standards of recent days, just a mundane question of HMS endoscope lasering away a few squatters from my exhaust pipe and generally giving a spit and polish, valeting to my giblets. Job done. No. You see, the sphincter muscle of the human anus is generally a pretty effective non-return valve, mainly in the direction of it. Being fully inflated, in the presence of 4 female nurses, avails the non-return valve an opportunity to display its full vocation. Expulsion. Rapid. Voluminous. And gaseous. The small blessing, I suppose. Farts measured on the high end of the Richter scale. The human bum, to give it its correct term, is capable of an astounding array of sounds. A whole orchestra of noises, both musical and percussive, but mainly a badly played trombone. Not over, because having successfully engaged and defeated the enemy, HMS Endoscope was withdrawing from active service, and at the very instant it was decommissioned, accompanied by a facial expression suggesting that you had suddenly achieved X-ray vision, the commencement of its passing out parade was signaled with a 20 bum salute from the tail guns of the badly holed HMS Bluetone, later followed by a selection of marching tunes, keeping strict tempo with the defeated ship's company as I retreated to the recovery room. Each step triggered off a postern blast heard across the free world. Imagine a creaky bottom bracket, which issues forth each revolution. Now substitute the creak with your best ever fart, multiplied by 10. Now we're getting close. Upon reaching the recovery room, I noted with great interest that someone had already had the presence of mind to open the windows. All of them. I like the thinking young feller, me monkey. Like the cut of your jib. After a suitable recovery period, I was judged best giant marrow in the show, and free to leave. I was still the size of some prehistoric land mammal, in the later stages of multiple pregnancy, but free nonetheless. I made my way to the lifts, each step now a masterpiece in self-control, as I held back a mighty tempest, desperate to play his new baritone sax. What is it about lifts and flatuation? Just like fish and chips? Just go together, no question? Exerting enough pressure to snap an iron bar with my unseen brown eye, I struggled the 20 meters from ward to lift, displaying a walking style that would allow me to pass over landmines without detonation and with just one minor, reasonable, quiet escape party. Ever so gently, I pushed the call lift button. After an age, it arrives. The first time in days, Lady Luck manages to wink in my direction. Not only is the corridor empty, but so is the lift. Bonus! I leap in like a jet-propelled panther. Okay, jet-propelled walrus. I'm in, and my finger had hit ground floor before I settled back to the earth. Please close. Please close. Finally, the doors close. Success. A lift all to myself. Boom! Sonic boom. Think Cape Canaveral. I'm farting for the solar system. The bloody relief is ecstatic. I can see my body actually shrinking. My eyes close and I'm loving it. My arse, still heavily lubricated, is singing out high praise to Mayor of Trumptown. This is borderline as good as a cold beer in a frosty glass on a scorching day. Abroad, obviously, unless it's April, UK. The noise is glorious. I've got a silly great grin spread wide across my face. Then something. Just how you instinctively know these things? I open my eyes because some other voice gently nudges me. The lift had only dropped from floor 6 to 5. The door's wide open. The entire population of Merseyside has been waiting for the lift for years. Whatever they do on this floor, the population is entirely women, teenage girls and kids. Every last one is staring aghast at a fat hovering man in the lift. Doors wide open. Thousands waiting. No one moving. Eyes wide. Jaws dropped. Just me, gently, floating. My feet about 18 inches above the floor of the waiting lift. I touch no surface. I'm in a geostationary orbit. A gradually sinking moon. My captive audience needs a lift. But not this one. Or if they can overcome the hurricane, they might. Probably not. I hang there, in midair, supplying my own live soundtrack, and then begin to slowly rotate. And for the first time in nearly a week, I am in control. By now, I have shat entire continents through a part of my own body less familiar to me than the far reaches of the Amazon. There are villages and countries plane flights are away from my home, requiring visas, that I knew better before this week. To tell the truth, I still can't pick my own arse in an identity parade. Now that's a phrase my old English teacher or probation officer never taught me, and still can't. So here I am, my bum smeared in expensive, high-quality fork grease, gently bobbing up and down before an audience of female strangers. And as the stainless steel doors gently close, there's only one phrase in my head. Kiss my f***ing fat arse. P.S. If you are concerned about the current performance of your original equipment manufacturer installed bum, please consult your GP. Not the voodoo witch doctor just to save a few quid. Even being inflated and floating on your own farts in a lift in front of a bunch of kids is far less of a concern to all the people who love you than the consequences of ignoring it. So remember, wherever you are, no matter how silent, how still, Agent Picolax, he's waiting, the eye that never blinks. Thank you very much for joining me for this special presentation. I enjoyed doing it, and I'm hoping that a lot of other people enjoyed this as well. I will have a link to the original post in the description. I tried to be as faithful to it as possible. There were a few that I didn't read, but I was reading mostly the ones from Blue Tone. He's the one who wrote the story narrative. They did have quite a few people commenting on the thread, so I just decided to keep those out, except for the very first few that kind of introduced the story. Thank you very much to all who listened. If you want to listen to this in a downloadable format, you can become a Patreon for just $1 a month. This episode is dedicated. I'm not sure if anyone wants to have this dedicated to them, you know, my Patreons, but I'm going to do it anyway. Thank you very much, Grey Roses. I really appreciate your support and all of you who continue to watch. So thank you very much, and I will see you again soon. And remember, have fun with your failures, or they'll have fun with you.